Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Bit of a late one this week, but it's worth the wait because it is the big one, or the biggest game we'll do for the next few weeks anyway. As you can see already, I am joined by Colin and Joel. The reason we're a couple of minutes late is Colin's fault. We're both Scotsmen.
Sure. Put it all on me. Yeah, great.
Well, it was, wasn't it? We're not lying.
Well, kind of. Never
We're all friends, Colin. We all love it.
change, guys. All right, never change. Fucking hell.
Oh dear. I mean, it could be worse, Colin. You could be having a government where your previous First Minister's husband's been arrested. Oh wait, you are.
Wow, dangerous. I don't think we're here for that sort of thing, are we?
Mate,
Not for
no. Like, there's been some mad shit going on, like, in this country the last few days, but I don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to talk about Sunday. Fuck all that other noise.
Yeah, exactly. We are here. We are, as Colin says, we are here mainly to talk about the big game this Sunday, on Easter Sunday. Away to our bogey, what is become our bogey ground in one sense for the last how many fucking years. I think the last time we actually won at Anfield in the league was when we signed Podolski and Santi Cazorla. 2012, yeah, we had that purple and black striped kit. Diaby, when he was playing, man of the match was the man of the match performance. But yeah, how are we feeling, guys? I mean, touching back on last Saturday as well, touching on that about it, just touching back and forth. How are you feeling in terms of the response from Arsenal last Saturday, and they're going to have to do it again this Sunday with, but this time even tougher test of Liverpool, because as bad as Liverpool have been this season, and they have been by their own standards, they are abysmal. Let's be honest. Their home form recently is all right, which is weird. You think they're going to fall out of the European spots the way they're going. I mean, again, just before I pass on to, I was starting kind of, but before I pass on to you, I watched that game on Wednesday, and I know there was changes for certain reasons, obviously to screw us over somehow. But I wasn't enamoured by Liverpool. They looked not dangerous. They looked fragile every time Chelsea tried to attack them, and this is a Chelsea side that's 11th in the league.
Bro, this Liverpool team, like, do you know what? It goes back to after the transfer, right? I believe it was against Manchester United at Old Trafford, right? Me and Dreyer were expecting 5-6 nils. That did not fucking happen. And ever since then, with Liverpool, I do not hold them to the same standards that I would normally. And the reason I would is because, or the reason I don't, is because this Liverpool team is shot to bits. And I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what the reason is whatsoever. Is it the fact that they're burnt out from playing every single minute of every single game possible last season? That might be a reason. Have they fallen out with the manager? That might be a reason. Is Klopp himself done at Liverpool? Possibly. Because, you know, everyone thinks I'm like throwing shade when I say this, but we've been there as Arsenal fans. We know what happens when a manager stays there far too long. We know this. Like, if anyone's qualified to speak about this sort of thing, it's probably us. Because we had a long-standing manager of 20 years that should have left, like, sooner than he did. And it gets to a certain point where the players just stop running for you. And I think that's what's happened with Liverpool. Like, I'm not going to say Klopp isn't a good manager. Of course he is. But
Is it
I'm
more so
already
that
I'm already seeing the signs, Ryan. I'm already seeing them. Like you've got Liverpool fans fighting amongst each other. Some are Klopp in, some are Klopp out. That's how it started with us.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
again, it's like the signs are there. It's not a good vibe. Some are on FSG, some are on Klopp. Like, I think most Liverpool fans would acknowledge that midfield is terrible.
It's been
Like,
neglected.
if not most of them, like when you look at their midfield options, Henderson. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, all right, he was great in the title-winning season, but again, you got to move these players on. Naby Keita, he moves like a 47-year-old man. Like, for real, like Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's another one. Like, 40 million, Ryan. 40 million.
And there's parts of our fan base complaining at the time, remember?
Well, to be fair, we were in a bad place ourselves at the time.
No, but
so
what
it
I'm saying
wasn't
is
like it was
what I'm saying is they're complaining we when he hit form later on that season and in his first full season as well, the following season, you got Arsenal fans going, "Why did we let him go?" And now since the injury,
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why we let him go, because at the time we weren't matching his ambition. But you know, Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's just, I don't know. It's weird. I can't put it down to one thing. And I know they beat Man United 7-0. I know, but let's
we're
be
not Man
honest
United,
here.
Melvin.
What did they do?
Melvin, we're not Manchester United.
What did Liverpool do the following week? They lose to Bournemouth. That 7-0 means absolutely nothing because they've not replicated even a slight.
Yeah, the 7-0 didn't knock on to other great results. It literally was a standalone result, and then they went back to how they were prior to the 7-0. So that if you'd have had the 7-0,
it means absolutely
and then
nothing
built on it. That's different, but they haven't, and that's the factor, isn't it?
Honestly, bro, Joe. Honestly, it means absolutely nothing, and we've been there as Arsenal fans. I remember beating Leicester in 15-16 and then losing to Man United 3-2. Standalone result. Standalone result mean fuck all. Like let's call a spade a spade. Like I'm not gonna go into this game underestimating Liverpool. No, because I'm not that type of person. But at the same time, am I more confident than I would be normally? Well, yeah. Like, it just, I don't know, man. Liverpool are weird. Like, really, really weird. When you think they'll get a result, and when you want them to get a result, they don't. Like, it's bizarre, man. It really is.
I mean, Melvin goes on to say they upped their game against their big rivals. I mean, they did beat Man City at Anfield in the season, but then they drawn against Chelsea. I mean, again, they've been that team this season. When you don't expect them to win, they beat Man City early in the season, or when the 7-0 thumping was not expected from either side. But then they went from that and then went 1-0, lost 1-0, Bournemouth. They then lost 4-1 in a big what's been over the years a rivalry over the years, so last 5 or 6 years. They went to Etihad, completely bombasted me in terms of their tactic of setting back, soaking the pressure, and trying to counter-attack a Man City side at the Etihad. When early in the season, teams go to the Etihad and they've gone for it, they've got something out of it. So it's just completely flabbergasted me what I was watching last Saturday at lunchtime.
The funny thing is, Ryan, the counter-attacking thing was working. The counter-attacking style that they employed on the day was working. It was. But you know
because they're so fragile.
Do you know what the problem was? Do you know what the problem was, though? Their their two wing-backs got dragged out of place, right? and I can't remember who it was, but it wasn't Trent, I don't think. Robertson that day, though, right, got dragged to the ball multiple times. Now, as a left back, if you get dragged to the ball when you're against a team that is as good as Manchester City, you're going to get punished, and that's exactly what happened. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. That was.
And the thing is, again, I know it's Anfield. I know we ain't got the greatest record there, but the thing is, this is a different Arsenal this year. This in terms of the season itself, this has been a different Arsenal. We've gone to Tottenham this season for the first time since 2012 again. Was it 2012, 2013? When we beat
it was 2012.
And then we went there this season, done them, completely car washed them. I know it's Tottenham, but completely car washed and put them in their place. 2013, I think it was Thomas Rosicky. Or 14. Either way, there was a long period.
The last time we did the double over Sport. Yeah, the last time we did the double was 2013 when Tim Sherwood was there. Oof, Jesus.
Yeah, but my point is we've played teams this season away from home or at home where it's been a bit of a pain getting a result, but especially away from home over the years, and we've gone to these grounds and just played our game. Even without Jesus for 3.5 months, remember, played our game, played our style, and completely blown these teams away. And I call it a bit of arrogance here, again, based on what I've seen this season from my team. I think they're going to do the same again at Anfield. It's not going to faze them. We saw, again, since we last went there in the league last season, got pumped 4-0, I think it was. We then went there again a few months later in the League Cup and got a 0-0 draw with 10 men. And I think Arteta this week and the coaching staff and all that, and the players that are there will be focusing on that. Plus, you add into the equation of Zinchenko and Jesus, who I've been saying now since during the international break that their know-how of being in this situation in terms of a title race, be it being the chased or chasing, they've been in this situation one way or the other. That's going to come to fruition, hopefully, in a positive sense for us. And the know-how, which we desperately needed either way, to go over top four or whatever, you needed that know-how. And I know it's Anfield, but I just think we're going to blow them away. We are going to blow them away. If we get an early goal in the first half, about 25 minutes, their heads are going to drop, and we're just going to do what we do and blow them away and get the result, get out of there. And if we do, psychologically, going into then a few weeks later we play Man City, that's huge. That gives the rest of the team massive confidence in what is more of a business end of the season fixture, going into against another away fixture in a few weeks' time against our rivals in terms of Man City for the title. That could be the positive outlook we need in terms of we've gone to Anfield, broke that hoodoo. We're going to go to the Etihad now, break that hoodoo since 2015, and we're going to do this now. And it could be the difference between us actually winning the league this fixture, this Sunday, and just missing out. It's that sort of fixture, but on so many levels. And I just think we will go there and we'll absolutely blow them off the park. Because I've seen nothing last Saturday or midweek from Liverpool that worries me. And I know they made changes on Wednesday. It doesn't make a slight bit of difference because I've seen it all season with Liverpool. They went 2-0 up against Real Madrid at Anfield, and they threw it away in the same game. Liverpool are that team this year. It's just complete Jekyll and Hyde, either in the match itself or one game good, and then loads of games absolutely awful. And the only reason, again, they made a game of it against us at the Emirates was because it was just end to end, and we just gave away a couple cheap chances, and they got their goals. And apart from that, we get stuck to our game. And even then, again, that's the mentality we've got to use as well. No matter what they do, to stick to our game plan. That's what we've done all season. Zay, and obviously people mentioning Zay Juice as well. Zay Juice is back. I fully expect him to start, and that's huge having him back. And obviously now a bit of confidence with the couple of goals he got last week. Sorry, Tom, but it did happen. I mean, Joel, what about yourself? How are you feeling about Sunday yourself going into this?
I'm looking forward to it, and I think that's the thing. We are going into it with a different mindset. We've obviously got a different goal in regards to the season to what Liverpool have. Liverpool are literally fighting to get a European slot, which is similar to how we were last season. So, it's like the tables have turned almost. But yeah, do you know what? I think if we stick to playing our game and sticking to what we have been doing, there's no reason. There's no reason why not. And I think, like we say, there's been that shift in mentality, which has been incredible in some of the games where we have gone behind. And we're going into this game. I know Saliba's pretty much a guy that's not, it sounds like he's not going to be a feature.
Well, I was watching Harry Simu's podcast before we went live and all that, and because he's touching on the press conference today, and as he thinks Arteta's, because obviously Arteta mentions there's a play, nothing's really changed, but there's a player that's possibly training tomorrow. I won't name the player obviously, so it's either Eddie or Saliba that's going to be possibly training tomorrow for a late, and obviously going to make it a late call on that player. And obviously, and Harry Simu thinks it realistic, going by the body language of Arteta and the words he was using, he believes it could be a Saliba, a last minute, see how he goes. And
I say full credit to Holding stepping in last weekend. I thought he put in a great shift. I know a lot of people who aren't massively fond of Holding. I know he's had those dodgy performances, but I thought he stepped up really well last weekend, and did the job. He looked comfortable, and he took control, didn't he? And the picture I keep seeing floating around on Twitter, I'm sure you lads have seen it as well, and it's the who wants to mess with our front line. It is the kind of the quote and the picture that's floating around when you've got the picture of Saka, Martinelli, Jesus and Trossard all stood there, and you're just thinking, they said, who would you drop if you could only pick three? And it's such a difficult shout. Yes, when did we last have that situation where we had a front power that people were genuinely frightened of, because goals can come from anywhere? That's proven with those four, and I'm really excited. I'll always be. I'm nervous going into every Arsenal game because I just am. That's just how I am, because it's not that I think we're going to lose or we're going to blow it. It's just I take a game as it comes, like same as Colin does. You take a game as you see it, and you take it as it comes, and that's kind of how we've seen the season, haven't we, Ryan? We've kind of seen it that way. But yeah, I'm genuinely excited. I think if we're going to beat Liverpool at Anfield, now's the time to do it, because I think they're there to be taken. Yeah, they will up the game. They'll probably have a couple of players back. I saw that Van Dijk is sort of stirring up again, and but these are guys that are coming back. This is the first game they're coming back into. I wouldn't want Arsenal on current form being the game that I've got to come back into. That would be my nightmare. If I was Van Dijk, that would be a nightmare for me, having to deal with those guys coming back. But like I say, we take it as we see the game. But I'm just looking forward to it, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, in terms of what you mentioned about being nervous, I mentioned this last week when I was doing the covering the Arsenal game last Saturday. I was like, nervous. I've been nervous about the season. Like every game, we're all optimistic, as we have been, rightly so, because of how our team performed. But obviously now it is the business. It is the squeaky bum time, as Alex Ferguson used to call it. It is the business end. There's no room for error. And when you see just a couple 30 minutes before, and Man City dismantle Liverpool. Even though I've pretty much slagged off Liverpool in this stream so far. It's just like, okay, fantastic. Track decent form. Okay, well, how are we going to respond? Because we're at home, but Leeds.
But then we look at last week, didn't we? And we looked at Liverpool, and they won 4-1, and everyone was
Man City.
Sorry, Man City. Sorry, I was giving credit to Liverpool there. Sorry.
I was going to say, I'd be happy.
I was just trying to give Liverpool fans a bit of hope. It was more, Man City went and did 4-1, and I thought, wow, now this is even more of a test. How do we respond to this? And then for us to go and win 4-1 as well was almost like us saying we can do it as well. Yeah. And I know a lot of people say, well, look who you were against. But I'm sorry, but you can only beat the team that's in front of you. And let's look at some of the results this season. A lot of those teams, that you would have gone, that's 3 points. They've taken their 3 points. They've taken their chances. So, if you look at the table in general, I'm going to do my little moment here. Sorry, bear with me.
You want to get it right. You want to get it right, though, Joe. You don't want to misquote yourself.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't want people to take snippets of this and posting it all over the place like Ryan does.
Yeah, exactly.
Only on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not your enemies, Colin. It's not your enemies, mate.
Nope.
But when you look at the table, who would have said Brighton would be in a European spot? Who would have said that Brentford have the potential to be in a European spot? Fulham, and yet we've got Fulham. Chelsea and Liverpool outside of Europe. You wouldn't have said that as a betting man at the start of the season that was going to happen. No matter who you are, you don't write those teams out. Even if they're on their 15th manager since we've had Arsene Wenger, it doesn't matter who you are, But I think it's just been quality, and that's been the great thing of this season. I don't recall, Colin and Ryan, please jump in. I don't recall a title race and a relegation battle and European battle being like this at this stage of the season, where you've got all that going on for a while. And I look at it and I just think, when you look at up to 12th place, where you've got Crystal Palace on 30 points, that Southampton, bottom of the league with 23, still have the potential to get up there if a couple of results go their way.
Hopefully
it's madness. It's absolute madness. But I love this. I've loved this season, not just because we're top of the league, does help, but it's just because these are the leagues that we love to see, aren't we? As a Premier League, as a football fan, I love this. Obviously Tottenham are a bit higher than I'd like, but this is how it is. But
not for them.
That's a false position, Joe. That's a false position. Trust me.
Well, let's be honest. They've got 29 games. And
Newcastle
I love that Brighton have Brighton have 2 games in hand.
Brighton have 2 games in hand, bro. Like, that's mad. Like, was it Brighton on 46 points, right?
And Brighton
2 games in hand. They win them both, right? Brighton are 5th and Spurs are like in 6th. And what's mad about all of this, right? This is how you know it's a false position. While they've won 15 games, right? They've lost the same amount of games as Liverpool. 9.
Yeah.
This is mad. Like, because was it? How many managerial sackings have we had this season? Like, I've lost count of how many. Like, I
think it's just how many. I think it's probably the biggest thing.
Even if you just take into account. Do you know what, Joe? I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to get onto that. Right? Chelsea started the season. They sacked Tuchel. They bring in Potter. They sack Potter, and then they bring Lampard back, who they sacked to get Tuchel for anyway.
But the funny thing is, we found out this week, it came up on Sky Sports, didn't it? That 2 big managers have turned down Tottenham, which have been a massive blow for them because they've been chasing them. And now they've been linked with Mourinho again.
Oh, God.
It's like, do you know what? Why don't we just take a moment to play Russian roulette with the same managers going around the same teams? That's like us turning around and going, do you know what? Do you know what? Let's bring Emery back. Do you know what I mean? But it is exactly the same. So Chelsea treated Lampard like crap, dumped him off, and then and let's be frank, a club legend, right? And that doesn't mean he's going to be a great manager. Let's be honest, that doesn't mean that. But he's come in, he's shown his loyalty, he's tried his best, it didn't work out. They then don't get, they then go with the managers that they thought were going to do the job, Thomas Tuchel and all the rest of it. And Potter, he must be absolutely kicking himself where Brighton are. Must be awful, right? And then they go back to Lampard and go, do you know what? You were really shit, but can you help us out? Because we're at a bit of a loose end until we find someone in the summer. Because that's exactly what they're doing with Lampard. And you just think, how is that bringing someone in to give you your final charge at the end of the season where you're 11th, you're 39 points, Villa are on 44, and you're on the same amount of games as them? How is he going to push you for a European spot when those teams are looking in great stead? I do not get it. You've brought in a guy that you sacked off and said was shit, and you slandered him to then bring him back in. And it's a bit... Lampard's come across as a bit of a plank as well, to be fair, to go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, maybe they got it wrong. You just think... I don't get the mentality of Chelsea there at all. I just don't understand it.
Joe, I said this at the start. Todd Bowley has no clue what he's doing. Zero. This is what I was saying in the summer as well. This is life for Chelsea fans. This is life after Roman. Get used to it. Said it in the summer, and I'm sticking by it. Todd Bowley has no idea what he's doing, right? Yeah. He sacks Thomas Tuchel, right? And all right, admittedly, they weren't amazing under Tuchel towards the end, but let's be honest, you're still gonna get a level of performance under Tuchel. There's always the possibility that you could have turned it around, right?
Yeah. And did they give him time to do that, right? Colin?
No. Because I know why they didn't, though. They wanted their own guy. I called that when they did it as well. But with Potter, right, I liken it to David Moyes at Man United, right? You done well at a Brighton, or in the case of David Moyes, you done well at Everton. All right, cool. You're walking into a behemoth of a football club, in Potter's case, with Chelsea, and with David Moyes' case, Manchester United. David Moyes at Man United ended horrific. Right? He wanted Fabregas, he wanted Tony Kroos, he wanted a lot of players, but did Man United give him the players? No. Graham Potter, I can't imagine he wanted I don't think he would have wanted 600 million at him or thrown it in.
No, not at all.
In one season. Not even a little bit. So, in essence, Graham Potter's probably laughing all the way to the bank now because he got what? A mass payout of his contract? Yeah. And now he's sitting pretty for a few months? Bro, if I'm Graham Potter, I'm laughing my ass off right now. All right, you don't want my job anymore? Cool. I'll take the fucking payout, mate. I'll take the fucking payout. I'll invest it somewhere, and I'll make more money on top of that. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you know what though? The thing that really gets me, and I love him as a manager, and everyone slandered him when Newcastle went and got him. Eddie Howe, right? If you're gonna have a, if Arteta doesn't get manager of the season, Eddie Howe's got to get it, because in my eyes, Eddie Howe came into that club and everyone went, so this is the star manager we've got. You've come in, you've given us all this money, you've promised us that we're going to be the next big club, we're going to go and buy this and buy that. Eddie Howe went and bought clever, and he bought good players in who've worked out, and he's got a team there. He's got a good team there. And do you know what though? I've always said Eddie Howe, quality. I could see him as an England manager down the line. If his career does go squiff, that he's a quality operator. He just knows what to do. But you just look at these other clubs and you just think, what are you doing? Like, is David Moyes still at West Ham? You turn around and you go, how is he still at West Ham? But is it David Moyes' fault solely? No, it's not.
No,
it's just not working. It's just not working. But when he was winning, people were up his arsehole. So this is how it goes, isn't it? We've seen it before, Colin, with our team. We're seeing it with other teams now. And, I know we've got loads to cover in this, but it's just... It just goes round and round, doesn't it? And the top... who's been linked? I think Tottenham have been linked with Mourinho. Have been linked though with Mourinho and Nuno once again.
Yeah,
why do you have to keep going round? Are they waiting in the car park for their phone to ring again? just go and get some. There's loads of people. There are loads of managers out there. And Tottenham will be.
They're circling around They're circling around Pochettino again. What does that tell you?
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it.
Leave me alone.
Leave him alone,
bro.
Leave him alone,
bro. This is what me and Ryan talked about when we were. I think was it Palace that we discussed this, Ryan, or was it Leeds? I can't remember.
Palace.
No. It was Palace. We were talking about the whole Conte situation, right? Because it was just fresh in the mind at that point. And we were kind of talking about managers and who could he get, right? And I made the point of who in their right mind would go there now. I stand by that statement because, they say they're more than likely want a project manager, right? But most project managers now need money, right? And they're circling around Brendan Rodgers and whatnot. How much did he spend at Liverpool? Quite a bit. How much did he spend at Leicester? Quite a bit. So either way you look at it, you're looking at managers who are going to demand money. And even if you get Thomas Frank, which honestly, if Thomas Frank goes to Spurs, he's the biggest idiot on the planet. I'm sorry. Brentford have a better trajectory going forward than Spurs do. I'm sorry.
But maybe, right, what they should have done was Tottenham should have met up with Chelsea, right? And they should have said, look, we've got an idea here. It's not working for both of us. So why don't we do spin the wheel, where we have the previous managers that you've had, and you have some of ours, because it's not working. We're going back to the same people that we've had previously. So why don't we try going for other failures that you've had, and let's try them at ours. So why don't we have Frank Lampard at Tottenham, right? And why don't?
Oh no, that would kill them.
Do you know what I mean? And let's just
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Just for fun's sake, because I love the guy totally, that he gets absolutely ripped to bits by Laura on TalkSport. Let's put Jamie O'Hara at Chelsea, because he's a dick.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Oh my God!
Let's just do it because at the end of the day,
Joe, I've got one better for you.
He's not a very good pundit.
Joe, I've got one better for you.
Let's just put him in as Chelsea manager.
No. Bro, I've got one better. Why don't they install Ryan Mason as full-time manager and give him a long-time contract? How about that?
Deal. Jamie Hara.
Tell me that's not better. Come on.
Honestly, I just say make Harry Kane player manager now, and let's just see how he gets on because he's so good at winning stuff as an individual. Maybe it could work going across. Maybe everyone. The thing is, everyone could win the Golden Boot, but they still wouldn't win the league.
Kane proven.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're moving on. I digress.
Bit of a joke.
Jamie O'Hara for Chelsea or Tottenham manager. You can take that one out, Ryan, and send it to him because the bastard deserves it.
Oh, I will, and I'll even tag him.
Joel, if that actually happens, right? I'm WhatsApping you the very day it happens, bro. I kid you not. Like, I don't know. I may actually give you credit as opposed to making fun of you.
No, don't give me credit. I'd actually feel sorry for the guy. That would be the first time, actually, I'd feel sorry for him.
I wouldn't.
No.
Because I know that Laura Woods would actually rip him a new hole, and I would laugh every minute of it.
Oh, same. Tim, all I would need is my popcorn and a drink, and we're set.
Yeah.
Like, TV's on, or actually no, YouTube on the Fire Stick on, popcorn in one hand, drink in the other. Let's go.
Jamie O'Hara in a suit at Tottenham. Job done.
Yeah.
Tottenham getting relegated.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Very,
very Spursy.
Oh, I'd love it.
We're meant to be previewing the Liverpool game, by the way.
Oh no, but just before we go back to that, we have sort of for the listeners. We do apologise. We did sort of die it off there for about 20 minutes. We do apologise, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Hopefully,
you get 20 minutes of comedy. It's all good.
Yeah. We're not here for the views. We're not here for the views.
No. Just before we go back to the game, though, guess who Tottenham got this weekend? Brighton.
Yeah.
Oh, superb.
So Brighton win with 2 games in hand, they'll be above Tottenham.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This is the show.
Do you know what? I'm just loving life a little bit more now.
This is the show top of the item, by the way. If Tottenham lose and we beat Liverpool at Anfield, Tottenham cannot mathematically catch us this season, meaning St. Tottenham's Day anyway. Back. But mathematically, St. Tottenham's Day will be back.
we could lose all of our games, bro. We still wouldn't catch us.
I know it's happening regardless, but I'm just making the point that it's going to happen this weekend, motherfuckers, and get used to it, Tottenham, again.
Bro, do you know what?
Jamie O'Hara.
Do you know what? This might be controversial to some, but I can get two shits about the Tottenham.
That sounds like you, Colin.
Because no, it's not, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, to be honest, I never have either. I don't consider them rivals. Like, they're that annoying little neighbour that you have that's having a party at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you walk over to them and you tell them to shut the fuck up. Like, that is essentially what they are to me. They're okay.
Let's go with Colin, though, right?
You don't see
let's go back. Let's go back to Paul Merson. Paul Merson, right? When he turned around and he said, when they turned around and said, look, with what Tottenham are now, playing like
what success thing, I know.
Yeah, their success. You know, how do you feel about that? And he went, what success? And he's spot on. 2 words, and he blew them totally out of the water.
Bro,
because what?
I don't care about them. They are irrelevant. They are what Everton are to Liverpool. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Everton don't challenge for trophies. Liverpool, when they've even now, right? You wouldn't see Everton fans trying to banter Liverpool a bad season, would you? Because they can't. It's like an Everton fan bantering a Liverpool fan. It's like, what are you doing? Stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Tottenham fans cannot chat to us ever. I don't give a shit. Even in their best season ever under Pochettino when they got to the Champions League final, I'm not gonna lie. They had me shitting bricks that they might win it.
Yeah.
They did. But in true Spursy fashion, and let's be honest, Liverpool were not at their best that night. Barely laid a glove on them. True definition of Spursy. So no, I don't consider them a rival. I never will. For me, our rivals have and always will be Manchester United. That's the way it's been. That's the way it will always be. And nothing's changing that.
Well, and just to let you know, we are here for Liverpool versus Arsenal for the match preview.
That was your fault, Joe. That was your fault, Joe. You transitioned it on to men anyway. Oh my God.
Ryan, Liverpool versus Arsenal match preview. What do you know?
Quite a bit, actually. As I said earlier, literally, I'm not. The nerves are there. Don't get me wrong, because it is, as I say, we are in a title race. I love it. The thing is, I was trying to say earlier, I'm loving these nerves that we're having. I love it because just in terms of something to fight for, it's what we've got. What we're fighting for is a trophy, and that's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And if we do break the duck of 19 years of pain. Look at the moments this season that have led to this. Most recently, the Reece Nelson goal, last minute, on his weak foot, on the half volley. Oh. In that moment, knowing, again, not had many minutes because of injuries and this, that, and the other throughout the season as well. Not had many minutes, but he's been called upon. He stood up, came on in that game, got the assist for Ben White's goal. Oh, by the way, Ben White, who's been at Arsenal a year and a half, or basically only this season, be at Arsenal a year and 9 months longer than Richarlison, and he's got 2 goals more than the striker, and he cost us £10 million less. But okay, but just want to throw that little dig in there at Tottenham, spending £6 million, winning the transfer window and all that.
This is about Liverpool versus Arsenal, Ryan. You know that, don't you?
I just want to get that dig in there because you never know. The Tottenham fan might come across this and think that we are.
This whole preview's gone to shit, lads.
We're not here to slander Spurs. We're here to look at the match preview of Liverpool versus Arsenal, Ryan. Now stay professional and just get on with the show now. Because it's getting silly.
As I say about Reece Nelson, let's be honest. As I say, Reece Nelson, just an example, comes on, gets that assist for the Ben White's goal. And I said at the time, and I was doing the watch on for that game, afterwards, against fitness and all that, how big that was, how much more I loved that moment because it was one of our own doing it as well. Not just another guard or someone we brought in over the last couple of years. It's someone that's, again, been through the turmoil, been through the absolute.
Yeah, he's grafted. He's been told that he's going to be loaned out. He's been told he's going to be sold. He's going to be told that his contract's not going to be renewed. He's been told all sorts of stuff to come on and score with your weak foot in a game that those 2 points could be the 2 points that do it.
Yeah.
Is massive.
No, that's my point. I mean, I'm just using that for example of we've had moments. It's not just the regulars like the starting 11 or whatever that stepped up. Eddie with Reece Nelson in terms of that goal, dying seconds, not had many minutes this season. Just come back from an injury on his weak foot on a half volley, hits it cleanly, and after he does it, he's like, "What do I do now?" Just run off. And it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it was the only one that didn't celebrate.
He was just like, "What do I do?"
Because it was just so overwhelming. I think it was literally overwhelming.
Yeah,
and but they are the players that make the difference. They are the players that are Arsenal to the core, and he did a job.
Even Eddie this season, for the 3.5 months we had no Jesus until just recently, when Eddie was called upon, he stepped up. He scored goals. He scored a winning goal in what was a tightly contested game against United. He scored a winning goal, did a little flick of the studs and all that. He scored the goals as well. He stepped up. And my point is that back in January, I was asked by a friend of the family, it's a Southampton fan, he was asking, like, do you think Arsenal, this was before we played Man United, after we played Tottenham, he was like, do you think Arsenal are going to win the league? I was like, you know what, think about it, yeah, because it's just that feel of, can you compare Arsenal to Man City this season? We're playing as a team, like collectively. Goals are coming from here and everywhere in terms of from defence. The only one that hasn't scored pretty much is quite literally, Aaron Ramsdale. He's the only player to score for Arsenal this season by the looks of it, and Matt Turner, obviously. But all the goals are coming from the starting 11, the subs, the squad players in general, even if they don't get any minutes. Go look at Man City. Unless Haaland's scoring the goal, take away Haaland's goals, would they be in a title race at this moment in time? Like they are, as close as they are, with how poor they were for the first half of the season.
Considering the fact that Phil Foden's the closest to him on 9, no.
And that's my point. And my point is that
what that'll do, right? That kind of opens up a whole can of worms. Like, if they hadn't signed Haaland, would they be?
But you know what I'm saying? It seems that they're so
charge because they keep the same style. Like,
but, my point is,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Ryan. I know.
We're not relying on, say, Zeus or whoever. It's a collective now. We're getting goals in midfield, goals in the wing.
But Ryan, we've been there, haven't we, mate? We've been there before, where we rely on one player. We've been there when we had Van Persie. It was all through Van Persie. When we had Aubameyang that season, it was all about getting the ball to Aubameyang. There is no particular player that they're going, got to get the ball to him. He's going to score the goal. We've got Martinelli and Saka, who will bomb all day. We've got Odegaard, who makes stuff happen. He finds the space. Trossard came in and gave, this guy's come in and he's just given us his best performance to date in an Arsenal shirt at the right time. He's like just getting to the point where he's going, do you know what? I'm loving this. And they're loving their football. This is the thing. They're actually loving what they're doing. And that's what makes them dangerous. Like, it's the same as, like, if you look at boxing, a happy player, it makes them a great player because they're loving their football. That's a dangerous player when they're loving what they're doing. So I just think when you look at that current crop of players, and Xhaka, I have to say, is in there. He has been, he is getting in some mean positions now because he's allowed to do that. He's now put, the way the balance of the team, like Zinchenko will pop himself into that midfield when he knows he can to allow Xhaka to move forward and Partey will cover. There's such an understanding of what everyone's doing on that pitch that there's not just one game plan either. Something doesn't work out, they'll flip across, they'll move around. Trossard will go over, Martinelli will pull in. They know how to work around each other, and it is like we were saying, it's exciting. It's just exciting to watch. I'm loving watching what we've got in front of us, and it's not just a case of because we are top of the league, but we are playing like we know how Arsenal can play, and that's the exciting thing. And I will be nervous this Sunday, but it's nervously excited for the game. And like I said to you, Ryan, I can't do predictions anymore, and it's not because I'm nervous. It's because I just want to watch the game that's in front of me. I just want to, and generally I'm wrong, so I don't tend to say anything.
Wrong in the sense of you're right. You're 50% right. Most of the time we're winning this season, so you're right in one sense. It's just the actual score itself.
I think there's one prediction we've made this season, Ryan, where we actually backed the other team, and it was because we were going for an absolute shitstorm towards the start, and we just thought this is a bit of a. And I think that was the only time that we've kind of gone, I'm really not sure. And now the momentum is there and the belief is there in the players. It's not just the belief in the fans, it's the belief in the players. And it just ripple effect, isn't it? It's absolute ripple effect.
Yeah. So it's the whole club, bro. The whole club's on the same hymn sheet. Like that's what it is. Like,
yeah,
we've waited like decades for these times. Like, because the last, since 2009, really, we've gone through the absolute shitstorm. If you think about it, like I still remember the 4-0 at Anfield, like under Wenger. Like, that was one of the worst games I've watched. Like the entire time it's been supporting Arsenal and whatnot. But now it's like the whole club's on the same hymn sheet, man. Like I love this team. I really do it. And it's not even the fact that it's like got young players from the academy in it and whatnot. It's not even Zinchenko. It's not just Jesus. And it's not even just the manager as well. It's the whole structure surrounding it that I'm in love with. Like, if that makes sense. Like, and by the way, 7-7 not happening. No title challenging team is scoring 7 and conceding 7. No,
unless you're Leeds,
Tom, but
you're not going to be going for the title. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom, but I'm gonna have to break your
He's
heart.
predicted his own scoreline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's two clubs that can do that: Leeds and Spurs. So there you go.
Yeah. I look forward to that game.
But do you know what? Everything's clicked at the right time. Like certainly is just saying, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to Sunday, and I've not enjoyed a game against Liverpool since 2012, and there's a reason for that, because the last time I enjoyed one was when I was on holiday in Manchester, because my family had work to do around that area at the time, and stupidly I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna open a Sky Bet account.
of course.
And I'm going to bet on Arsenal for a change.
You jinxed us.
No. That day it was a win, right? It was in 2012 I did this, right? Because I knew we were beating Liverpool on that day, so I didn't even second guess it, right? So I went, all right, 2-0 Arsenal win, no problem. Santi Cazorla, Podolski brought my money to me. But the nerve-wracking thing about that was I wasn't even watching the damn game because I was in a taxi at the time. And when I seen the scoreline, I was like, "Oh, thank God! Thank God! My bet's not gone like tits up and whatnot." But would I do that now? No. Like, no. Like, I'm just looking forward to Sunday, man. I really am, and I'm not even making a prediction, because if I put my chest out and kind of stick to something, I know I'm gonna get clipped up. So no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, man.
I love that job.
Yeah. It's not Spurs, mate. It's not Spurs. I'm not doing what I did at Spurs. No,
I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, as I say, I'm just excited. Can we win? Yes, we can win. We can win.
Of course, yeah.
I have no doubt that we could go there and cause them real problems. I'll be intrigued to see what our starting 11 is. That's going to be a factor. But even at the same time, I look at the players that come in and cover. And I when Partey used to be out, let's be honest, we all used to think, oh no, like here we go, massive space in midfield. Xhaka can't do it on his own. Whoever else he gets partnered with, he wants to kill or he wants to inflict pain on someone else without guidance. But now you've got Jorginho who comes into that position and he does the job. He does the job. And I just think we've got people say we don't have depth, but when I looked at the bench the other day, I thought, wow, that's probably one of the best benches we've had in a long time. And I'm absolutely buzzing. I think Neil's written there, isn't he? 2-1 to us, but draw will not be a disaster.
But we don't want that.
Yeah, but do you know what? I just think we're going to go and win. I think we're not the same team that goes into a game and goes, do you know what? We'll be good if we get a draw out of that. The Arteta mentality and the Arsenal mentality is we go in there, we get the win.
No.
And that's the difference.
No.
And
there's no way Arteta's telling the players in training, right, a draw here is not so bad. No.
He's not Gareth Southgate, Colin.
No.
Bro, this...
And I'm not being horrible,
Arteta
but he did, didn't he? He did it. He did it. He said, look, at the end of the day, we could draw or lose this game. We're still through. Do you know what I mean? We're in a title race here. We're in a title race. And the only way to win that title race is to just keep the momentum going and keep the winning going. Like Neil's saying, loving this positivity. I haven't seen a fan base like this for a long, long time. And to see when we go 1-0 down in some games, the fact that our team, our fans away from home are cheering louder than the home fans or whatever. They're cheering louder and they're cheering Arsenal the moment we go 1-0 down because they know the belief is in that team is to come back and to win the game. And that's the difference. The 12th man as well has been massive this season. All of them say it. As soon as they get to the interview at the end, they turn around and they go, do you know what? And it's not just a case of turning around and going, the fans were great today. They're like, we're feeling it. We're feeling it. The power of positivity, and I'm not talking about the New Day, are literally filtering in, aren't they, though? They are. It's filtering in through the stadium. And
Actually, Ryan, before you go,
yeah.
Now that Joe said that, right, I can almost. There's someone on Twitter that I follow that I know is 100% playing the New Day theme on Sunday. Actually, no, that would be at the Emirates. My bad. But if the game was at the Emirates, right, and Joe had just said that. Pete, who I'm mates with on Twitter, right, who covers F1 and that, who's the music guy at the Emirates,
the sound
guarantee he's playing the New Day theme. Exactly. If he was doing it, bruh.
Can I just say, my son, as people know, Charlie, absolute top lad, and it's not just because he's my son; it's just because he is genuinely amazing. He is a massive WWE fan, and when they played Cody Rhodes' entrance music at half time the other day, he was in his element. And
I'm not gonna lie, that got me, man.
I love and do you know what? That music actually is very much spot on as where Arsenal are at in their season. That music, and they also play The Game by Triple H all the time as well.
Yeah, they play a lot over there. Oh my god!
I just think some of it just works really well. Other times, I just think, do we really need to hear that sort of thing? But yeah, look, That's it, Tom. You've got it, mate. You know,
bro, like, but do you know what though? Right, that song itself, it kind of, in a way, the lyrics to it are reminiscent to, I guess, us this season, especially with what the Emirates has been like this season, right? Because the Emirates has more essentially been like our kingdom this season. It has been like if you watch the games, like you knew what I was going for.
I know what you
mean. You know, but bro, it's like you knew what. Well, you just know what the Emirates is going to be like when you watch the games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you don't. It's not.
I will be there, Neil. Don't you worry, mate.
Oh,
I'm driving the bus.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Trust me, I'm strutting up to that shit, Vince McMahon style. Trust me.
That's not a name you mention at the moment, mate. I'll tell you, that's not a name to mention at the moment.
But you know what I mean. Like the fuck, like the confidence of it. You know what I mean? Like, oh
there's not many people that get described as a sex pest, and then the next minute they turn up on telly with a moustache like that.
What is this preview, man? Fucking hell.
Again.
But do you know what? Vince McMahon will be the next Spurs manager because he is Spursy.
You know. I mean, to be fair, mate, he's got the moustache for it. Yeah. Like, he fits the bill.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Ryan, you look like you want to wrap it up, mate.
Yeah, Ryan, wrap it up, bro.
I think now's the time because this is just spiraling. This is just spiraling out of control.
Imagine in this podcast, and listeners are listening to this on their respective audio platform, be it Spotify or whatever. They'll be thinking, started off all right. Then Ryan,
when me and bro, when me and Joel are on the same panel, it goes tits up either way. It's not going well.
They went for a 20-minute random chat about Graham Potter and the manager's been such in the league.
Can you put Mr. Tom's tweet on the screen?
Yeah.
No.
Vince McMahon stepping out in public, looking like the villain from Hot Fuzz.
Sweet Jesus.
Then they pulled it back.
I'm dying.
I got pulled back in the right direction and it went off on a tangent again. But
just to say,
it's a calamity.
I'll end it on a high, and I'll just say, Happy Easter, everyone. Whether you celebrate or you don't, or you just eat chocolate, whatever, Happy Easter to everyone out there. Yeah. And do you know what? I genuinely, because obviously Ryan knows, I'm able to do this a lot more now because I don't work nights anymore. So this has kind of freed me up to work, coming on here.
Yeah.
And I genuinely love coming on here. It's an absolute joy. So just to have a laugh and to be able to chill out and talk about what we love is just it's that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. Another one from Tom.
Enough, Tom.
I'm actually crying.
God damn.
I'm actually crying.
Oh, dear.
And it's not because I'm emotional. Fucking hell.
Out of interest, are you around on Sunday?
Yeah, I am, sadly, and I think Colin is as well, which is going to be another car wreck.
But it could be a car wreck in a positive sense. As long as we're also doing a job on the pitch.
Do you know what? Right, that might be a car wreck in a positive sense because we'll all be drunk, we'll all be like dead out of our minds, and we might have. Well, who knows what could happen? Like, oh my god, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm available too, Ryan. If you want, fuck it up.
Do you know what? This is going to be like Hangover 4. This is how bad this is becoming. We are going to be like the sequel that no one wanted. I think.
No, I've got one better for you, right?
Alan,
Who's
Alan?
Joe, I've got one better for you, right? I've got one better for you. This is like a really good movie, but with a really, really bad sequel. You know, like the Mask movie from 97 or 98, but then they release Son of the Mask a few years later.
It's like the son of Melvin.
Oh, Jesus! Stop! Oh my god!
Do you know what? I only said that because he's just popped up on the screen here. And do you know what? I love Melvin's bits and Neil as well. And Mr. Tom's been chatting all evening. I don't know what he's saying half the time, but it's great.
He's a Cockney Leeds fan, so it doesn't make much sense anyway.
But yeah, to be fair, we are sort of the sequel that people just don't want. But do you know what? We don't care, to be fair. We're just here having a laugh. And yeah, I'll be around Sunday. And then I'm back to JG's Fight Talk. That's picked up again.
Yay.
I've got some big interviews coming up with boxers and stuff. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So yeah.
Oh my god, to see this from Tom now. It's like a
sequel to a Steven Seagal movie, but with Steven Seagal still in it.
Oh my god. You're making us feel old, Tom.
Oh man,
Steven Seagal, bloody hell.
This is almost as good. It'd be almost as good as having a sequel to Titanic. That's how good.
Oh Jesus! Like what? I mean, I don't know. Like my comparison was better than that. Like at least I ended with a good movie, or no, started with a good movie, ended with a bad one.
Oh, it's like another sequel of Fast and Furious. There you go. We'll leave it at that.
Oh, fuck it. Ryan, end the thing.
End it, Ryan.
End it.
The thing is, me and Colin just keep going, and yet Ryan's just laughing the whole time, like he's just accepted the fact he's lost. Do you know what I mean? He's just.
The listeners might enjoy this.
Ryan's laughing like a teenager. Ryan is laughing like me and Joe are just going, and Ryan's laughing like, I don't know, an 11-year-old girl in her teens. Like, what's going on here?
Okay.
I don't know.
But each to their own.
All you're missing, Ryan, is the Instagram account where you model and shit.
Just to let you know, the only way to end this really is to get Gary on, because he just seems the only person that could really stop any humour.
Yeah. he'll be around.
We need the voice of reason.
That went ages ago, Colin. You know, that
went a long time ago, man.
That went about 40 minutes ago.
Oh. But yeah,
that went as soon as the stream started. Never mind, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, evening lads, watching the under 21s hit the like button. But yeah, under 21s playing. I do want to say before we go, a massive shout out to Jack Wilson and the under 18s midweek this week. They played Man City.
Jackie boy,
extra time, got to the FA Cup final. By the way, FA Cup Youth Cup final is at the Emirates, and we're playing West Ham because they won 6-1. West Ham actually won a game. Bloody hell!
And I'll tell you, massive shout out as well to the Lionesses as well, who just continue to achieve, and it's incredible. So massive shout out.
I mean, it's amazing, Joe. You pick no Tottenham players in your squad. You pick your captain.
We're doing it again, Ryan. We're doing it again.
No, I've got to say this. It's point and proof. Serena's
we don't. We don't need to do this again. No.
Ryan,
we're finishing the match.
Me and Colin were just calming down.
Serena Bergman's just come in.
He's still doing it.
You're playing for Arsenal. You're my captain. I don't want any Tottenham players around. And what's happened since? Trophy after trophy after trophy. Southgate goes, nah, I'll keep the Tottenham players in. I'll keep Harry Kane as my captain.
Anyway, honestly, everyone, thank you very much for tuning
in. The Tottenham fans keep crashing your chat, Ryan. Like, you keep taunting them.
Bring it on. What can they do? What can they do to ruin my season? Let's be brutally honest. They can't come at me. Even in the most successful era, we won 4 FA Cups. They won fuck all.
Bro, they're not worth it. Why are you taunting them? They're a noisy neighbour that just starts a party at 1 in the morning.
I love to see them have a meltdown. I'll get a massive kick out of it. And what?
But the thing is, they have meltdowns themselves. The only thing they're close to a cup is when they buy an Easter egg with a mug in the package. That's the
they don't need us. They don't need us to let them have a meltdown. They do that pretty damn well themselves.
No, but it's a bit better. We can stick that knife in a bit.
Honestly, mate, we don't need to push him over the edge. Jamie O'Hara will do that.
The way this is going, this will be a 24-hour stream preview by the signs of it. The way it's going,
May 29th, breaking news. Jamie O'Hara is a new Tottenham manager.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Ryan, end the thing, bro. End it, bro.
We are going. This has been an absolute random
carnage. Let's go in the title of this one.
It started off well. It went wayward.
It will just have Mr. Arsenal has car crash. Plus Liverpool versus Arsenal match preview.
Just a random podcast.
I wouldn't title it like that though, because it might get taken down. Like car crash and shit. YouTube will flag that shit.
You got to be careful what you're writing all that.
Yeah, just kind of put. I don't know.
The most random football podcast you're ever going to find, basically.
Mr. Arsenal sequel plus Liverpool versus Arsenal match preview.
There you go. We are going to wrap things up. I will be back tomorrow because I'm painstakingly having to do this in terms of.
Just to let you know, me and Colin won't.
No, obviously, yeah, you got better things.
You got a couple of days off.
Oh, there you got. So I've got a bloody. I'll be back tomorrow about 5:20 for the Southampton Man City game. Hoping Southampton by some miracle perform a miracle. If not, we can all laugh at Tottenham either way. And then match of the day later on that evening on tomorrow night around 10:20, and then back for the main event on Sunday, 4:00, half hour before kickoff. Of myself, Gary, Joel, and Colin, as we've now found out this evening, for the main event that is Liverpool versus Arsenal. Hopefully, the Arsenal doesn't have to big carnage. Hopefully, the Arsenal players turn up and do what we need them to do, and we kick on for this title race and just keep going, keep plugging away, keep the positivity flowing, and keep shutting up our doubters. Keep shutting up Gary Neville, which I'm loving, by the way. But apart from that, guys, obviously massive thank you to John, Colin, and Joel, and everyone else in the chat. But Colin, have you got anything coming up on your channel for your football manager stuff or anything like that?
I've still got the MyRise stuff on 2K23 going on. Yes. I'm not that far into that. There's still the whole thing with the heart business going on. I don't know. I don't trust MVP, and rightly so. We did the watch along for night 1 of Mania over the weekend, which was fun. I wasn't as enamored with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley as everybody else was. But again, my own personal opinion. And like Joel, I'm as pissed off at Roman winning as everybody else should have been. But apart from that, we're all good over here.
And Joel, as you mentioned, you're bringing back your channels, and not bringing it back, but as in you've got new interviews coming up and things like that. So when does that start up, and where can they find you as well?
So I'm JG's Fight Talk on YouTube, and they can find me on Twitter at GMJG_14. Just find me on there, give me a follow, and then we'll have a chat. But I've got an interview with a women's world champion who's got a title fight coming up in about a month's time. Some boxers that are just turning pro, but also just some great stuff coming up. Prediction shows and fantasy fights as well, which is another thing we're going to start doing. So fighters from the past fighting present fighters. Where would you sit? What camp would you sit in? Some great stuff coming up. Looking forward to it.
Okay, look forward to that. I will be, by the way, guys, I will be getting the links to both these channels and putting them in the description in the next 20 minutes or so. I'll be putting that in the description so you can find them easier that way. And we are out. I am going to go get myself prepared for a massive weekend. Yay. Until then, guys, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash that like button, do share the content around. And if you've come in late and want to listen to it back, you can on the audio. The audio will be up in the next half hour on all your audio platforms: Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, etc., all the major platforms. Until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you on the other side. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.